Hey guys, what's up? What's going on? I just want to welcome you to our Way World Outreach online sermon. Let's get ready for the word.
So today I want to talk about persistence. Persistence equals fulfillment. And when I'm talking about persistent, I'm talking about ability to start something and not quit. There's a quote, the primary reason for success is persistence. Likewise, the primary reason for failure is lack of persistence or quitting too soon. Anything that you want to accomplish in life, whether it's a vision, a ministry, a business, education, there's nothing that's worthwhile that doesn't have a temptation to quit in it. And that's why most people are not successful, because when they run into resistance, or they run into difficulties, or they run into a few no's, or they run into a few difficult people, they quit instead of following through and becoming successful. If you feel like quitting, I got some good news for you. You're probably doing something worthwhile. But don't you quit, follow through so you can succeed. See, persistence definition is to continue firmly in a course of action, purpose, especially in spite of opposition. It means to endure. It means to be tenacious. It means to last. Tenacious, last, especially when there is obstacles, resistance, difficulties. That's why we need to make up our minds. We are going to be persistent. See, if we are going to see a vision come to pass, prayers be answered, see our friends and family saved, we need to be persistent. We can't give up on God, we can't give up on people, and we can't give up on our process if we want to see something fulfilled. I'll say it again. We can't give up on God, we can't give up on people, and we can't give up on a process, because through that process is how a vision comes to pass. We can't do great ministry if we give up on people just because we don't see change. We need some ministers. We need some men and women of God that believe in the people before they believe in themselves. That we believe in them even when they're not treating us right. That we believe in them even when they're doing wrong. Well, that sounds a little familiar. That sounds like a God that sent his only begotten son to die for a whole bunch of sinners like us, because he believed that one day we'd be willing to turn to him. See, the purpose of this teaching, what's the purpose? Is to remind us that God wants the vision to come to pass. God wants to bless you. God wants you to walk in victory. God wants it more than you do. So when we're talking about persistence, it's not for him, it's for us. And what he's saying, don't give up on the promise. Don't you give up on the word. Don't you give up on the vision I have given you. Don't give up. I will do it. It will come to pass. This is not a time to give up on your marriage. It's not a time to give up on your kids. And it's not a time to give up on your process. It's not a time to give up on your church. It's time to stand. And when you've done all the stand some more. Let the enemy know, I'm not going nowhere. That's how you do ministry. So what do persistent people do? What do persistent people do? I'm going to give you 3 things that persistent people do. These are the ones that get results. These are the ones that succeed. These are the ones that do great things. Number 1, they talk themselves into continuing. See, persistent people have positive self-talk. See, either you're talking yourself into something or you're talking yourself out of something. There are some things that you should be talking yourself out of, but you should never talk yourself out of a word that God has given you. You should never talk yourself out of a vision that God has given you. You should not talk yourself out of ministry. Self-talk. They talk themselves into continuing. Their talk is self-encouraging, even when they feel like quitting. There's a famous person, and this is what he said. Success begins where the average person quits. There he is right there. I like to sneak those in once in a while. Real famous guy, he said that. I'll say it again since he's so famous. Success begins where the average person quits. So while they're quitting, you pick up the bags right there and say, we're ready to go to Successville, because success begins where the average person quits. So when you feel like quitting, don't be average. Start fighting from that point, because that's where the success begins. See, Jesus is our example. Jesus could have talked himself out of going to the cross very easily, because Jesus was 100% human and 100% God. That means he suffered, and he went through pain, and he went through hurt, and he went through difficulties. He did. So we see a picture of his self-talk, and we also see a picture of his struggle. In Luke chapter 22, verse 42, it says, Father, this is Jesus praying to the Father, if it is your will, take this cup of suffering away from me. He said, I know what suffering I'm ready to experience on this cross. I'm ready to take on the sins of the world. And what he's saying, if you're willing, please, I don't want to go there. But this is what he also says. However, your will must be done, not mine. You know what we see there? Jesus catching himself. Jesus striking his last statement. We need to learn how to catch ourselves. When we start saying thoughts and words and self-talk that are leading us to quit, and we say, strike that. No, your will be done. Strike that. No, I'm not going to quit. Strike that. No, I'm going forward. Strike that. No, it's going to come to pass. God gave me a promise. I am not quitting. So Jesus talked himself. He goes, no, however, your will be done, not mine. See, in order to continue, we must be willing to let go of the past. Do you know why some people can't go forward? Because they're looking backward. Past failures, past hurts, past rejections, past victories. You know I just said victories too? Because you can still be so enamored by your last victory that you have a trophy and you can't even see that God has some future victories for you too. You'll never go forward and continue the process looking backwards. God is saying, I've done some great things in the past, and yes, you've gone through some great struggles in the past, but your future is going to be better than your past. So get your eyes off the rearview mirror and let's start going forward. See, if you don't start looking forward, this is what it's going to do. You'll start beating yourself up because of the past failures or mistakes. Do you know some people, when they're ready to succeed, they don't allow themselves to succeed because they don't believe they deserve to be successful? I just said a lot of stuff. I don't even know what I just said, but it's true. So they're ready to succeed, but they sabotage themselves because they don't believe they could succeed, because all they do is look at their past, they look at their failures. Stop looking back. Philippians 3:13 says this, no. I like it starts off, no. Dear brothers and sisters, no. I've not achieved it. But you understand, he's saying I'm aiming at something. I want to achieve something. I'm asking you a question. What are you aiming at? What are you trying to achieve that you haven't achieved yet? He goes, I haven't achieved it yet. But this is what he says. But I focus on this one thing. He goes, I'm having some self-talk. And this is what I've talked to myself. This is my conclusion with my self-talk. Forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. So you know what he said? He goes, I haven't achieved it yet, but I know this. If I keep looking back, I'll never achieve it. So I just made up my mind. I started talking to myself and say, Marco, stop looking backwards, because while you're looking back, you'll never go forward. So I just made up my mind. I'm going to forget about the past hurts, the past pain, the past failures. I'm not going to live in regret. I'm not going to live in guilt. I'm not going to live in condemnation. I'm not going to live by the words that people have said over my life. I'm going to go and get a vision from God, and I'm going forward. And my future is going to be better than my past. Let's go forward. See, until we get to a place that we feel we can't go no more, you haven't begun your gains. So when you talk about gains, well, I work out once in a while. And this is what happens. I've learned this. If I do push-ups, and I do push-ups only until I get to the point I feel I can do no more, and I stop there, I'll have no gains. My gains happen after I get to a push-up I can't do anymore. So this is what I do. When I feel I can't do anymore, I do this, 5 more. And you'll be surprised how you could do 5 more. I didn't know 5 was in me, because every cell in my body is saying, stop this nonsense now. This is ridiculous. My body's burning, I'm sweating, I can't breathe real good. And then I hear myself, positive self-talk, and I say 5 more. 1, 2, I'm trembling. 3, trembling. 4, 5, and then I stop, because those last 5 is where the gains happen. See, a lot of us get to the point that we're sorry, I can't do no more, and you quit there and you get no gains. Right now, if you feel like quitting, you're at the edge of your victory, at the edge of your process, at the edge of your growth. 5 more. So what do persistent people do? They talk themselves into continuing. Number 2, they don't quit. See, this famous guy said this: Christians don't quit, they get promoted. That's me too. I just want to let you know. They didn't put my face up, but that's me. I said that. Christians don't quit, they get what? Right when you feel like quitting is where your promotion is, right around the corner. See, winners never quit, and quitters never win. A motivational speaker, Brian Tracy, said that. See, what don't Christians, what don't they quit on? Well, this is what they don't quit. They don't quit praying. They don't quit praying. They don't quit depending on God. In Luke 18:1 says this: one day Jesus told his disciples a story that they should always pray and never give up. Praying and not giving up go hand in hand. And I've learned this: when you start having a consistent prayer life, it'll also build a character in you that will stop you from quitting when it gets tough. Pray and don't give up. They don't quit their pursuit. They don't stop until they receive what they're aiming for, believing for, praying for, standing for. They don't quit until they receive what they're believing for, aiming for, praying for, and standing for. They don't quit until they receive what they've been aiming for, believing for, and praying for, and standing for. They don't quit until they receive what they've been believing for, praying for, believing for, and standing for. In Matthew 7:7, keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find what you're looking for. Keep on knocking, and the door will be open. Promise for everyone who asks and continues asking receives. Everyone who seeks and continues seeking finds. And everyone who knocks and continues knocking, the door will be opened. Well, I turned in my application and they haven't called me back yet. I guess they don't want to hire me. No, you need to pester them. I turned in my application Thursday. I want to know if there's any response. Well, we haven't looked at it. Okay, I just want to let you know my name's Marco Garcia, and I'm excited to work at your company. I'm the person you're looking for. I just want to let you know. Write my name down, Marco Garcia, M-A-R-C-L-G-A-R-C-I-A. Yeah, you know me. I'll be calling you tomorrow. Bye. That was Monday. Tuesday. Ring, ring, ring. Hello, how can we help you? It's Marco Garcia. Yeah. Hey. Did you look at my application yet? You know, we just got your application. We haven't looked at it yet. That's fine. I am ready to go to work, and I want to work at your company. You got my name? Write it down. M-A-R-C-L-G-A-R-C-I-A. You know me. I'm coming back tomorrow. I'll call you. Wednesday. You know what's going to happen if you keep on calling? You're going to be talked about in the break room. There's a crazy guy that wants to work here, and the boss is going to say, who is he? M-A-R-C-L-G-A-R-C-I-A. He's not going away. Hire that guy. We need that guy here. We need someone persistent. We look at his app. It doesn't look good, but he's still the guy. Come on. We need to fight for the dream. See, only those, and I'm talking about they don't quit. Only those that don't give up get results. Galatians 6:9. So let's not allow ourselves to get fatigued doing good. At the right time, look at this. At the right time, we will, not might, we will harvest a good crop if, conditional statement, we don't give up or quit. Are there any believers in this house that have a backbone? Come on, they have backbone in their character, and they're saying, I've come too far to give up now. I've gone through too much pain, failure, struggle. I'm going to get what's mine. They will harvest. You know what that harvest means? They're going to get results. Results from past action or process. You know what's so crazy is you could do past action and process and give up before you actually get the harvest. It means to gain, to win, supply gathered at maturity. Where do we get when do we gather the harvest? At maturity. Where do we get it at? Do you know there's some things that God is ready to bless you with, but he can't bless you with because you're not mature enough yet? He goes, the process that you're going through is maturing you, getting you ready for it. See, God's not saying he's not giving it to you. He's saying you got to grow up a little bit. You get angry too easy with people. You get offended too easy with people. You quit too quick. You haven't learned consistency. I'm ready to bless you with something that I want you to hold on for the rest of your life. So I know there's a process that's working. I remember that when we first started this church, I had a vision of this church. I go, God, how come you didn't give us this church at the beginning? He goes, you ain't ready. You need to grow up, Marco. There was a lot of growing up. I didn't know how to lead an organization like this. I didn't have the leadership skill. I didn't have the character yet. But there was a process to get me to the point that I could lead at this level. God will release the harvest when you're ready. Is there anybody that's willing to go through the process so they can receive the promise? I remember there was a day I wanted to quit on my job. I was new in the car business, and I ended up, they used to pack the cars in super tight. Like real tight, like inches away. You could barely stand. We had so many cars on the lot. We super close. And I remember getting this van out, and I pulled a corner, and I wasn't used to it. It was a little longer than the average little Nissan Sentra, and it was a van. So I pulled out, and I scraped the whole side. New at the job. So the boss comes out, and he just starts calling me all kinds of names. I've never been called so many bad names. Really, the truth was. My whole life. And it will all happen all at once. Now within me, I wanted to take him out to the back. I want to say something like, do you know who you're talking to? I'll take off this tie right now. But that wasn't the right thing to do. But after that, after he screamed at me, and he says, you're going to have to pay for that. You know what I felt like doing? Quitting. First of all, I didn't have money to pay for it. I just started. Right? I didn't have money to pay for it. And then I was embarrassed. He screamed at me in front of everybody. I wanted to quit. I wanted to quit. So afterwards, I just having some talk, self-talk. One voice is saying, knock him out. The other voice is saying this, finish the process. This is your issue, not his. You could quit, but you'll never get promoted quitting. Stop it. So I came back the next day. He didn't ask me to pay for nothing. I didn't even see him talk about it again. They took care of it. I was ready to quit on just a threat. It wasn't even reality. But you know what happened 2 years later? Christians don't quit, they get promoted. I got promoted. And do you know who he now worked for? It was me. I was now his boss. Come on. God will turn it around. God will give you victory if you stop trying to run from the battles. And now he'd come to me, but I never gave him the same treatment he gave me. I gave him mercy and love, but that's how we roll. How many understand that? So don't quit. Get promoted. And the third thing that persistent people do, they push through the resistance. There was a saying I've always said, persistence wears down resistance. We need to become more persistent than what's coming against us. You know what I call that? Outlasting your enemy. Do you know a lot of fights? I'm talking about fight a little bit today. You guys got me on that subject. I was ready to knock that guy out all over again. I was kidding. But you know, a lot of fights are won based on just endurance. Like you could fight someone with great skill, but if they wear themselves out in 2 minutes, after they're wore out, and that's what Muhammad Ali used to do. He used to do the rope-a-dope. Let them swing, and when they're all wore out and they're all fatigued, then he just starts jabbing because he knew that they were wearing themselves out. I've learned this. We got to wear our problems out and not let our problems wear us out. We got to say, no, this mountain will be removed. It's not going to stand here. I will keep on speaking to that mountain be removed, and I'm not going to stop speaking. I'm not going to stop praying. I'm not going to stop going. I'm not going to stop reading. I'm not going to stop studying. I'm not going to stop ministering until the mountain is removed. So now, Jesus is now explaining a story with a widow. He goes, let me show you how this persistent thing works. And in Luke chapter 18, verse 2, it says, there was a judge in a certain city. He said, who neither feared God nor cared about people. So there's a judge, and this judge is a non-believer. He doesn't believe in God, and he don't even care about the people he's ruling over. And then it says, a widow of that city came to him repeatedly saying, give me justice in this dispute with my enemy. Now, what do we need to push through? Number one, we need to push through others not caring. It doesn't matter if they care or not. This is your life. And what I mean by that is you got to want it more than anyone anyways. It didn't matter if the judge doesn't care and he doesn't pay attention to her. He doesn't love her. He doesn't care about her. She had a dream. She had a vision. She had a case that needed to be brought before the judge. She needed justice. So what she did, she continued speaking the vision. What does that mean? This is what it means. She could have stopped speaking the vision, and she could have started speaking about the judge. Who elected him to be judge? He don't even care for the people. He don't love the people. That was a bad vote. And then you become all political, and you forget about your vision. You know, Christians, I want you to get this. We belong to a bigger government than even the United States of America. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't vote and all that stuff, but some of us are so carnal, we can't get a kingdom breakthrough. Because you're looking for your breakthrough from people that will love you and care about you. But God sometimes is going to give you a breakthrough from someone that doesn't even care about you, doesn't love you, and he's going to give it to you because you're just persistent. Who cares if no one cares? I'm good. She overcame by repeating the vision, not the obstacle. She didn't change her narrative. I wonder who in your life is changing your story. You were headed, now it's going to be the greatest year, 2019, man, we're going to knock the socks off the devil. I see the devil with no socks. Okay. But what happened from January 1st, New Year's Eve, to right now? You're no longer talking like that. Something happened. Now you're talking about people, and you're making yourself a victim, and you're feeling sorry for yourself, and you're talking about the last person that hurt you or the person that left you. Is that your vision? See, she overcame the judge not caring by continually repeating her case, by continually repeating her vision. This is what you need to have. Keep the vision of God in your mouth. And there's times you got to push through also this. Push through people just ignoring you. Just because it looks like you're being ignored, it doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Remember, I said this again. Be careful that you're not offended out of your vision. Offended right out of your vision. That leader just ignored me. So what? Who cares? They're not God anyways. Pastor walked behind me. He didn't say hi. Kick back. Thank God you don't call on my name to get your breakthrough. There's a name above every name, and his name is Jesus, and he's everywhere at once. Let's stay focused on our answer, and let's stay focused on the vision. When you leave here, what are you talking about? Because could it be your conversation so low you can't get no breakthrough? Well, did you see that music was way too loud for my ears? Yeah, back in the day, you used to listen to Def Leppard and Kiss and everybody. Yeah! Right? You were in the club, pump up the volume! You know, it has nothing to do with that. It had to do with the conversation that took over your mouth. We need to start talking. I don't got time to talk about people, and I'll tell you why. Because if I talk about people, I can't talk about my vision. And what I'm talking about is what I'm going to get more of. And see, some of us have so much drama in life because all you do is talk about drama. Oh, Lord, that's the bonus right there. I'm just trying to help somebody. In Luke 18:4, look, the judge ignored her for a while. For a while. But finally, he said to himself, he started having some self-talk. I don't fear God or care about people, but this woman, she's driving me crazy. I'm going to see that she gets justice because she is wearing me out with her constant requests. What he was saying, I don't care about her. I don't even like her. She's crazy. But I'm going to give her what she wants because this lady's not going anywhere. And God is giving us this scripture because God has given you a promise. And he's saying, if a wicked judge can deliver, how much more will a righteous God deliver? Because what he's saying, when you give up on the vision and you give up on the prayer, you're giving up on me. God said, stop given up on me. I've given you a word. Your future, come on, it's going to turn out for good. All things work together for good. Wait on me. Because this story is not even really about a widow. This story is about a God. Because look what he says. Jesus promises this. Everyone who is persistent, has persistent faith, will get their request granted. Jesus is now looking for this kind of faith. Not double-minded faith. I'm in as long as it's convenient. I'm out when it gets hard. We need some consistency in our lives. See, we want major breakthrough with minimal commitment. If we're just going to school once a month, or going to church once a month, what kind of breakthrough are we going to get when we go to the gym 4 or 5 times a week and you're physically fit, but you're spiritually? I'm smiling. Don't get mad at me. No mad dog at me. I'm trying to help you. Come on. I'm trying to talk you into a fulfillment, a dream. I'm trying to talk you into experiencing what you've always wanted in life. And God says, it's right around the corner. Don't you quit. Luke 18:6 says this. Then the Lord says, look at what he says. Learn a lesson from this unjust judge. Learn a lesson from the judge. Wait. Even he rendered a decision in the end. So don't you think God will surely, if he did it, and he's unjust, and he don't care, and he don't love you, and he still granted the request, don't you think that God will not surely deliver and give justice to his chosen people who cry out to him day and night? He's saying there's a group of people that cry out in the good times. They cry out in the bad times. They cry out when it's light. They cry out when it's dark. They cry out when they're in the mountains. They cry out when we're in the valleys. What they're saying, my prayer, my vision doesn't change. It doesn't matter the condition. I cry out to my God day and night. It's just saying no matter what the weather. It's like you guys. It don't matter the weather. You guys still show up. It didn't matter if it was easy to find parking or not. You still showed up. You know, fair weather Christian. This message is a confirmation. They were trying to make you feel like you're crazy, that you turned it into a fanatic. Nah, that's not what it is. You're getting ready for fulfillment of the dream and the vision.
Wow. Now, wasn't that word amazing? Let's just pray real quick together. God, thank you so much for such a powerful word. God, you are almighty, even in the darkest seasons of our lives. Throughout the valley, throughout the mountaintop, you are still God. And Father, I thank you for the other person on the other side of this lens. I pray that you would bless them, God. Bless their life, bless their day, and their community, God. I thank you so much for them. So have your way. Amen. Awesome. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and you have a great rest of your day.